Alrighty guys, welcome back to day number 3 of the 50-day challenge. Today, I'm going to be talking about dopamine depletion. I'm going to be talking about what is it, why is it a problem, and what we can do to solve it. Alright, let's go. Alright, so dopamine depletion is simply when your brain gets low on dopamine. Simple, that's it. Alright, that's the end of the video. I'm just kidding. So dopamine, when your dopamine's low in your brain, how's that happen? So basically, in the world that we live in, where everything is so abundant and we have everything that we need at our fingertips, our brains get overstimulated with pleasure. So when you eat food that has sugar in it, I don't know if you guys can hear the geese, but they're there. So like I was saying, when you eat food with sugar in it, or when you scroll on TikTok and Instagram, when you open a WhatsApp message or a snap on Snapchat or watch a video on YouTube, every time you do one of those things, your brain releases dopamine. And when you think about the lifestyle of so many people, and myself included, like this is something that I've struggled with a lot. When you eat food that has sugar in it, when you're spending hours and hours on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat, whatever it is, your brain's just constantly releasing dopamine. And when you're low on dopamine, it's so hard to feel good because dopamine is the feel-good hormone. Dopamine, serotonin, these are the hormones that make us feel good. And when we're low in this, it's impossible to feel good. So I think it's no wonder that when you look at depression rates and anxiety rates in teenagers, right now, they're the highest they've ever been. And our brains always want to move to pleasure. So when you give kids things that pleasure them 24/7 at their fingertips, this is not good for your brain, and it causes kids to have less dopamine, and then they become sad because they literally just don't have the chemicals in their brain to feel good. Let me give you an example with something physical. So imagine every single day you would spend 6 hours in a candy store, and the shopkeeper is constantly offering you free samples and to try every different candy. And you have to spend 6 hours in there every single day. Well, look, you're gonna have a candy here, you're gonna have a candy there, and by the end of the day, you're going to have eaten so many different candies, and you're gonna feel like crap because you're not supposed to eat a ton of candies every single day. So your physical health is going to suffer. And if we do the same thing with our mental health, and we consume content, and we just deplete our brains of dopamine 24/7 every single day, yeah, your mental health is going to suffer. So what can we do about this problem? The first thing I would do is to first take a break from whatever you're indulging in, whatever is bringing you pleasure constantly. So this could be saying, hey, I'm not going to eat potato chips, and I'm not going to have dessert after every meal every single day. I'm not going to go on social media for the whole day. And you can have this just say, hey, I'm just going to do this for a day, or I'm just going to do it for a week. You can do it for a month, a year, 6 months. You can do it for however long you want to do it. But I think the key is to make sure you spend at least a day where you just don't indulge in any of it and let your brain just reset from constantly just producing and releasing dopamine. The second thing that I recommend doing is to do things that are hard, to do things that challenge yourself. Now, there are so many benefits to doing hard things, but I think the simplest benefit is how much happier your life will be because of doing these hard things. Hard things make you appreciate the little things so much more in life. Let me give you a few examples with a few hard things that I like to do, that I've done in the past, that I recommend you guys do, and so you guys can feel the same emotions I feel after I do these hard things. So, fasting. Number 1, fasting. When you fast, so basically, which means just not eating for a certain amount of time. So I do intermittent fasting here and there. I don't do it every day, but when I do it, when you decide to do it, I think for women, it should be around 14 hours. For men, I think 16 hours, but do your own research. That first meal you have after you fasted, oh, it tastes so much better. Second thing, cold exposure. Cold exposure, I'm gonna make a video about cold exposure in the future, but when you are super cold and you've been outside for like a few hours and you're freezing, or you jumped in the cold pool or a cold ice bath or take a cold shower, when you take that hot shower and put on warm clothes, you feel like it's one of the best feelings like you can have. You just feel amazing. And 4, now this one is kind of related to the video I made yesterday about facing fears, but like going up and talking to a girl or a guy that you find attractive that you saw on the streets, doing that and like building up the confidence and the courage, say, okay, I'm so nervous, but I'm just gonna walk up, and you just say what you say. Hey, can I get your number? I think you're really pretty, whatever. No matter what, if you got rejected or you did get the number, afterwards you're gonna feel so proud of yourself. You're gonna feel so good for building up the courage and the confidence to go and just being like, hey, I'm just gonna put myself out there. And if it happened, if it worked out or it didn't work out, you put yourself out there, and that's all you can do. And you just feel so much better because you were like, hey, you feel like the shit. Let me just tell you, you just feel good no matter what. So those are some of my favorite hard things to do. And honestly, like, whatever hard thing you decide, you'll appreciate the little things in life just so much more once you've done them. And look, by no means am I saying, oh my God, I do hard things all the time, every single day. Like, no, I don't. I don't do hard things every single day. I try to, and I don't not go on social media like I do. And sometimes I fall habit. It's like, oh, shit, I just watched 4 hours of YouTube, and you're like, well, that was unfortunate. But at the end of the day, you're gonna slip up when you try this. If you guys try and take a break from social media and do hard things, you're not gonna succeed every time. But the key is to just make sure that you keep trying to get better, and you keep trying to say, okay, I slipped up this time, but tomorrow I'm gonna come back better. And that's really the mindset you gotta have for this sort of thing, is like, this is gonna be one of the hardest things that you ever try and break out of as Generation Z, as like us young people. It's gonna be one of the hardest things we ever do. And the people that can overcome this are gonna be the most successful, they're gonna be the most fulfilled, the most happy, and those that don't aren't. To recap, dopamine depletion comes when you do things that pleasure yourself all the time. When you consume content, when you eat sugary food, when you don't exercise. Doing all those things bring you dopamine. And when you do these things constantly, you become low on dopamine and you start to not feel good. So the solution to this, take a break from social media, take a break from eating sugary food, and then do some hard things and then begin to appreciate the little things in life a little bit more. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope it brought you guys some value. And if it did, make sure to leave a like. If you haven't already, subscribed. And if you are feeling really frisky, maybe share it with somebody that you think needs to hear this message or would benefit from it. Alrighty guys, see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Bye bye.